Greetings everyone, I'm Stefan, and this is a new improved Civics tier list for machine empires in Stellaris. In today's video, we're going to be covering all the Civics available to machine empires, and I'll be taking you guys through why some Civics are horrible and F tier, and why some are godly and should be taken in pretty much every single game. Let's start off at the very bottom of the list with delegated functions. This Civic is borderline useless. It will save you 25% of leader upkeep, but considering how base leader upkeep is 2 per leader, you're not really going to be saving a lot of energy credits there. The leader pool size increase is also virtually irrelevant, and overall the Civic is really meh. A very slightly better Civic would be Zero Waste Protocols. You will save about 0.1 energy credit per pop per month, and so at the very beginning of the game, with 30 pops, you will save a grand total of 3 energy credits. Congratulations. If you're going to waste a Civic, do it right. Do it with Warbots. Warbots will decrease upkeep and increase damage for armies, but since those two factors are virtually irrelevant in the game, you're not really going to feel that much of an impact. Plus, machine empires have access to mega warforms, which are the most powerful armies in the game, so boosting those things by 20% is honestly not even that worth it. Moving up a tier to Civics that are actually somewhat relevant, we're going to have static research analysis. This will increase your research alternatives by 1, and that will certainly help you out with getting the text that you want. However, it's not too significant, and without any other bonus, this Civic is really just mediocre. About as mediocre as factory overclocking. Now granted, for machine empires, an extra leader level cap is somewhat decent because your leaders are immortal, and they will eventually make use of the extra leader level cap. However, you would see practically no use for the Civic early on, because even though it does give plus 10% leader experience gain, it is not nearly sufficient to justify using it in the early game. Moving up a tier, we have OTA updates. This Civic will reduce the Empire Sprawl from pops by 20%, and to machine empires, that is actually quite useful. Like hive minds, which can basically ignore being over admin cap, machines get severe penalties, so you really never want to be over admin cap with a machine empire. OTA updates will help you out with that, and if you have a massive sprawling empire, this is actually a pretty decent Civic. Moving up to B tier, we have Civics that I would actually consider using in a normal game. Starting off with Introspective, this thing actually does pretty good stuff. The engineering tree for machine empires is quite powerful because you're going to have earlier access to strikecraft, better ships, better star bases, and of course machine modification points. Next we have Unitary Cohesion. This Civic will do exactly what it says it does, more unity. Constructobot is almost as straightforward, and this will decrease the amount of resources you spend on buildings and districts. Moving on to tier 8, we have the more interesting and the more broken Civics. This thing, for example, a Rapid Replicator, will increase pop assembly speed by 20%. If there was a Civic for normal empires to increase growth speed by 20%, that wasn't inward perfection, it would certainly be very high in the tier list. In Stellaris, pops are the most basic and the most important resource, because with pops you can make an economy, and with an economy you can make fleets and do research. Next we have Rock Breakers. This Civic is also quite powerful, and it will increase mineral output by 25%, pretty much no matter what you're doing. The extra base mineral for miners will be affected by all the other bonuses, and so at any point in the game this is going to be the same plus 25% to minerals. Up next we have Maintenance Protocols. This is actually new Civic, just added in 2.6, and overall it is quite powerful. An extra unity per maintenance drone is quite good because you're going to have plenty of maintenance drones in your empire, and getting extra unity production from those is very nice indeed. This does the same thing as Technocracy does for normal empires, and you basically don't have to worry about unity production at all. And now we get to the big 3. The 3 most powerful Civics available for machine empires: Driven Assimilator, Rogue Servitor, and Determined Exterminator. These 3 Civics are extremely powerful and give a very unique playstyle to your machines. Starting off with Driven Assimilator, we have the most powerful Snowball Civic in the game. This Civic will allow you to go out, conquer, and assimilate other populations into your empire. With Driven Assimilator, you're able to conquer an empire, and within 5 years, all the pops will be assimilated to cyborgs, assuming they're normal organic pops and are not hive minds, and you're going to be able to work those pops like crazy. In addition to the crazy mechanic of assimilating other pops, you also get access to a Total War Causes belly, so if you manage to rush an empire early on, you're able to completely conquer it and take it for yourself. You will of course suffer a minus 100 opinion penalty, but honestly that is the lowest opinion penalty for a Total War empire available in the game. At least as far as Civics go. You could also get a Total War Causes belly by just building a Colossus, but that is a whole different matter. In addition to the crazy potential of snowballing, Driven simulators also start off with 10 cyber pops right off the bat. These cyber pops can be optimized to have the best traits for something like mining, for example, and your main species can be optimized for something like energy gathering, and amenity production. This way you can have a lot more efficiency and your early game economy will be through the roof. However, this does come with a significant trade-off. You will gain 1 less replicator job per planetary capital, and your organic pops will only be growing at half the rate. You also have to deal with food upkeep for your cyborg pops, unless of course you're rocking Ellipsoid cyborgs. Ellipsoid cyborgs are the best because they consume minerals, and your economy can be very simple, just energy, minerals, and alloys. The energy, minerals, and alloys playstyle is also the main strength of the next Civic, which is Determined Exterminator. This Civic will allow you to play Total War and go out and conquer other empires with significant bonuses, as pretty much Skynet in space. You're not going to have access to diplomacy with other species or the galactic market, and so your interaction will be limited to war. And war is quite fun with this empire type. You only have to manage 3 resources, and so going to war all the time is not going to be much of a problem. This Civic also combos particularly well with the Doomsday Origin, because as you might know, Doomsday will blow up your planet after 45 years, but before that, it will give you massive bonuses to energy, minerals, and alloys, the only 3 things that Determined Exterminators actually use. And so early on, you're going to be able to just build up some alloy plants, rush down your enemies, and defeat even Grand Admiral AI. It's a very fun build, and I've actually done a video on that. You can check that out in the top right corner. And now we have what is arguably the most powerful Civic available to machine empires, Rogue Servitor. Rogue Servitor is powerful not because it's powerful in war, but because it's powerful in economy. You see, Rogue Servitor will allow you to have biotrophy pops, and while you do have to take care of them with food and consumer goods, you will gain significant bonuses from actually having them. You see, happy biotrophy pops will increase your pop approval, which will in turn increase your stability and in turn your production. If you spread your biotrophies all across your planets, you're easily going to get an extra 20 to 30 stability on each planet. Biotrophies will pretty much also take care of your Unity production, and as a Rogue Servitor, you're going to be producing quite a bit of Unity, and therefore rushing traditions very early, very quickly. Rogue Servitor, however, does have 2 minor downsides. The first one is that you can no longer build any simulation sites, so you cannot be producing Unity from your robots, but honestly that's not that big of a deal considering just the sheer amount of Unity you're going to be producing from your biotrophy pops across all your planets. The second downside is a little bit more significant. It's the fact that you cannot displace or otherwise purge your biotrophy pops, and so if you try to conquer another empire and are suddenly left with hundreds of pops to take care of, you're going to suffer, and you're going to want to purge them all. In that situation, you have 2 options. Either you take care of all those pops and get insane amounts of Unity, or you just resettle them all to a border colony and just trade the colony away to some other empire. That will work, and you will get rid of all those problems in an instant. But anyways, that about does it for today. In the next video, I'll be covering all the Megacorp Civics, and of course, if you guys haven't checked out my standard Civics and my Hive Mind Civics, they're in the top right corner, so please go ahead and do so. They're quite exciting, and there are quite a few Civics that I've covered in those videos. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.